So let's talk about some potential retirement planning risks. I don't know where you are in your retirement planning journey. I don't know if you are in what we call the retirement red zone, which would be 10 years and inside of your potential retirement date. Maybe you're 15 to 20 years out from retirement. Maybe you're just getting started in building your retirement planning strategy. If you're already in retirement, maybe there's something we could do for you as well. But really, this is geared towards the people that are 5 to 15 or plus years away from it, 5 years plus away from retirement. Let's talk about what some of these risks are. Number one, and any retiree will tell you their primary concern as a retiree is running out of money in retirement. Running out of money in retirement. So insufficient retirement income, uncertain tax environment, the impact of volatility on returns, or let's talk about sequence of returns in retirement, and then the impact of fees on your future income. So quite a few things to unpack. Let's move fast. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe to our channel. We're getting really into retirement planning issues, investment issues, savings account issues, and really talking about what is the best type of plan that you can build for yourself. So let's keep going. The concern of insufficient retirement income. How much money will you really need in retirement? And it's probably substantially more than what you think. Now, the rule of thumb or the book of financial planning, I don't know where this number comes from, says you need about 70% of your pre-retirement income in retirement. And I'm going to tell you that's complete, absolute nonsense. I've been helping people retire for the better part of 20 years. And nobody has wanted less money in retirement. They want as much money as they can possibly get in retirement. And I will be frank with you and tell you that, yes, while the house is paid off, while the kids are out of college, most people, because of inflation and the cost of living, need 100% of their pre-retirement income into retirement. You don't need less. Now, if you're going to maintain the same lifestyle, you shouldn't need more. But you actually need about 100% of your pre-retirement income in retirement. Now that causes a lot of pressure to build and save and grow your retirement accounts. Now, here's the other thing. The Employee Benefit Research Institute does an annual study of, or a survey, a confidence index on how people are feeling overall. Will they have enough money to live comfortably throughout their retirement years? And this is from 1993. We can blow this up in the video, 1993 all the way through the end of 2022. And right now, 73% of people going into retirement feel very or somewhat confident that they are going to have enough money to live comfortably throughout their retirement years. Then we have 28% are very confident and 27% are not too confident at all. And this is a recency bias index. It has everything to do, if you track where we're at here, it really has everything to do with how the stock market is performing. Because most people's retirement assets are tied up into 401ks and IRAs that are probably overly aggressive invested or too aggressively invested, which causes their confidence index to mirror what the stock market is doing. And at the end of 2022, the stock market was doing pretty darn well. So the other thing that provides uncertainty in retirement is what's the tax going to be? And I've done a video on this, and we can go back here and watch that video where we talk about, do you think you're going to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement? Or do you think you're going to be into a higher tax bracket in retirement? And are you putting money into a qualified plan and taking all of those distributions to pay tax in retirement? Or do you have any tax-free income in retirement set up at all? The truth of the matter is you have no clue where your taxes are going to be in and going through your retirement years. Going back to 2012, you can see what the tax brackets were. The top rate was 35%, capital gains was 15%, then 13 to 17, what the tax brackets were and what the taxes were, and then 2018 to 2023. And the reality is you have zero clue of where taxes are gonna be. I did a video that showed, since 1913, when the tax code was created, the average high tax rate is 57%. 57% is the average highest tax bracket. And we're at 37% right now. We have a deficit. I've done videos on this and talked about this. We have a deficit of $1.8 trillion a year that the government is spending that they're not earning on an annual basis, how do you think they're going to try to earn more money? They're going to tax you more. So be very careful if you think taxes are going down. This is talking about the impact of the volatility of returns or the sequence of returns. So what we're talking about here is we're talking about a 6% consistent return on your money, which, by the way, doesn't exist unless you're in some sort of a fixed annuity that's paying a guaranteed 6% for the rest of your life. Those don't exist, by the way. But let's say you hypothetically have $1 million, you're 60 years old right now, and you're only going to take $50,000 a year or 5% distribution. We're going to set inflation at 3.5% on the average. And by the way, 3.5% is not what inflation is right now. If you actually want to know the true number, it's probably closer to 8 or 9% inflation. And then we're going to do a 6% earnings on the $1 million, a flat 6%. Run that through, and basically taking $50,000 a year, increasing annually for 3.5% inflation, means by age 89, so 29 years into retirement, you're going to run out of your retirement dollars. This is what most retirees are terrified of. And how do you plan for that? Well, let's talk about the sequence of returns or the volatility in returns. So still averaging 6%, but now we've put varying returns as if it was in the stock market. These are hypothetical. These are not actual returns. These are just hypothetical varying returns, but it's still the same 6% earnings, okay? But now it's an average of 6% with varying fluctuating returns. And if you happen to catch it at a good time in retirement, where your first early years of retirement, where the market goes up substantially, it makes a tremendous impact on the longevity of your money. Again, taking $50,000 a year, adjusting it 3.5% every year for inflation off of $1 million balance. So in this example, instead of running out of money at age 89, now you would only run out of money at age 93. You might be dead, but you might not be dead. Statistically speaking, and I don't know where I got this from, it's very old, but I think it's probably still relevant, is if I had a married couple, both age 65, there is a greater than 50% chance, so greater than a flip of a coin chance, one of them will still be alive at age 92. 65 to 92 is a 27-year time frame. Greater than 50% chance, better than a flip of a coin average, that either you or your spouse is going to be alive at age 92 if you were at both age 65. So this is an issue. You have to think about where your money is going to be and how long it's going to last you. Now, what if the reverse was true? So instead of a flat 6%, instead of early good years of market return, what if you had early not so good years in retirement and all of your money was tied to a varying rate of return? Well, instead of your money lasting to age 93 in a good scenario, in a reverse sequence of return, you run out of money at age 80. Both of you are probably still alive at age 80. That's only 20 years for $1 million to last. This is the issue we're starting to face, and this is the true risk and anxiety that retirees have for their money. We're not done yet, right? We're not done talking about the risks. The sequence of return is a true issue if you don't have the ability to put some guardrails on your retirement assets. And we can talk about what those guardrails were. I mean, what if there was a product that offered all of the features and benefits that you were looking for? Protection against premature death for your loved one, an index-based interest crediting rate potential, guaranteed minimum interest, guarantees of a 0%, supplemental income for retirement income purposes. Well, here's what that looks like. And I've done a video on this. In fact, my past video was about the characteristics of different types of savings accounts. And here it is written another way. But you've got your traditional IRA, Roth IRA, your qualified plan, your CD, your mutual fund, your muni bond, your individually owned deferred annuity, and then life insurance. So life insurance has no annual limit on contributions, has no tax deductible contributions, has tax deferred accumulation, has potentially tax-free distributions if you set it up the right way. It is not subject to early withdrawal penalties, and yes, can provide income tax-free death benefits. Look at that compared to all of the other options, the traditional IRA, the Roth IRA, the qualified plan. That's really what we're comparing against. And here's what it looks like from a graphical standpoint. When you put The way you get money into a properly structured life insurance plan is through paying premiums and the indexed interest credits that it earns when it's growing in according to how the stock market performs. Or it could be from the fixed interest account as well. And yes, there is a spigot for fees and expenses and cost of insurance to come out, but you can also tap that spigot for tax-free distributions as well. And this is what I want to show you, is I want to really show you how a properly structured life insurance vehicle can work compared to the alternatives. Because I know you're thinking life insurance is expensive, John. I've heard life insurance is expensive. Compared to what, right? So compared to what is what we're trying to talk about here. So you have cost of insurance, policy charges, fees and expenses. Now, here's what it would look like, right? So let's assume I've got a policy that we're putting in $50,000 a year to. And this is on a $750,000 death benefit policy, but putting $50,000 a year into, this is for a 45-year-old male. So there's nothing out of the ordinary for this. A 45-year-old male, $750,000 policy, $50,000 a year. And you can look at what these early years, and really let's just go over here to this last column. Policy charges as a percentage of the accumulated value. 25% in the first year, terribly expensive. 12% in the second year, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2. And really into the 10th year, we're at 1.8% fees, okay? This is where all of the life insurance naysayers will say, no, too expensive, way too expensive. Don't do a life insurance policy. Well, let's keep telling the story, because when you get past the 10th year into the 11th year, the policy charges as a percentage of the accumulated value get minuscule. Look at this, 0.1%. That's 10 basis points in year 20. It's 13 basis points in year 13 as a percentage of accumulated value or the account value. And we're going to start to compare this to what we would call the traditional options, the mutual fund or your managed investment account. So your mutual fund is going to be subject to, investment operating expenses plus a sales charge plus capital gains. Your other investment is going to be your managed money investment at a 1% management fee. So let's compare how the super expensive life insurance policy, and it could probably be structured more tax efficiently than what I'm showing you here, but as an example, in the first 10 years, your life insurance policy has a net cash surrender value of $548,000. Now, it does have a death benefit of $1.3 million. So if you died, your beneficiaries are getting 1.3, but let's talk about the living benefit. $548,000 in the 10th year compared to a mutual fund of 600 and the other investment of 593. So right now the life insurance policy is losing. Well, let's get down to year 20. Oh, what just happened? Life insurance policy has a value of $1 million plus a death benefit of $1.2 million for beneficiaries. Mutual funds are 888 and the other managed account is at 800. I thought life insurance was expensive. I thought life insurance was a terrible vehicle for the long term. And remember, these distributions that I'm going to show you down here from the life insurance policy are income tax free. That's not the case from the mutual fund and other, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So in this example, for this particular vehicle, for this particular company, the break-even point happened in year 13 or 14, where the life insurance policy became more valuable. In other words, the fees and expenses and the taxes on mutual funds and other investments became more expensive in year 13 for the traditional investments versus the expensive life insurance policy. From that point on, it's a no-brainer. And then let's look at the distributions. So at this person's age 66, we're going to start taking $103,000 a year distribution, because that's what we can take from the life insurance policy. But how long do the other investments last before they run out of money? Oh my God, they ran out of money at age 75. Really, the investment account ran out of money at age 74, but let's just say age 75, they've run out of money. The traditional investments, the one that Dave Ramsey wants you to do, ran out of money, no death benefit, no more opportunity to take income. You have run out of money in your retirement, but a properly structured life insurance policy is still spitting off tax-free distributions all the way to age 85. And we just stopped it there for life expectancy purposes. And it still has a residual cash value of over 200 grand and a $400,000 death benefit for beneficiaries. Tell me how this is not substantially better than the traditional. Look at these after-tax distribution cumulative values. $2 million of cumulative tax-free distributions from the life insurance policy, $1 million from the others, but yet those are the ones that they say are better than a properly structured life insurance policy. It makes no sense. You guys need to know that you're getting good, solid information. And I don't know that you are. I just know that everybody hates life insurance, but nobody knows why they hate life insurance. And when you start digging into the science and the math of how life insurance works, it's hard to argue. But yet Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, and your financial advisor says life insurance is bad, but they can't prove to you empirically that it is worse off than what they're trying to do. They don't want you to know the truth. If what you thought you knew to be true about your finances and your advice that you're getting was wrong, how fast would you want to know it? Yesterday, right? Well, here, this is like the Matrix. This is the red pill, blue pill moment that I'm trying to give you. Do not shut me out. Keep listening to this, because I'm not saying life insurance is the total answer, but it is absolutely a piece of your overall financial portfolio that needs to be built in and baked in so you can have access to proper use of the money. It is a piece of a properly structured, diversified plan. It is not the everything. Don't put those words in my mouth. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this. Watch it again, share it with people that you know, like, and trust, because they need to see this as well. I'll see you in the next video.